Hey, what's up? My name is Yak. I've been working on this personal project where I'm taking iconic anime scenes and recreating them in 3D. I was doing Akira for a while, and now I am trying Evangelion. So this is probably the fourth or fifth animation in this series so far. And I'm just kind of going through and picking shots that I like, just whatever I remember impacting me when I watched the anime. Probably many more to come, and maybe some more Akira shots or even other anime. And if you want to see me attempt to do other animes, definitely let me know in the comments down below. But today I'm going to be going through my entire process of how I made this shot that I just showed. So sit back and enjoy. This is kind of a bit of an insight in how I pick the shots that I want to do. I think about, do I have the assets or the capability to make what is in this shot? So if we take this one, for example, like this is a really cool shot. There's a lot of really cool stuff going on. But if we start breaking it down, there's a bunch of trees and foliage in the foreground. There's like this very prominent electrical pole with cables. There's some structures like houses. Some of these houses, look like something I can get out of the big, medium, small pack. The sign, definitely. The trees are going to be the tough part. So this is such a big part of it that I would have to do something good here. And then there's like this background stuff, which I can probably fake with like cards or paintings. I have a model from Hanyang. I need some clouds, and I need some of these like helicopters. So like this one would not be ideal to do, and I could probably do 50 to 60% of it, but it would mostly be just like way more. I'd be biting off more than I could chew. So the one that I'm looking for is the one where the Ava is being deployed up. I think there's a clip of it on my Instagram, but it's in that like chute that's like pulling it up. Or bringing it up to the surface, and there's all these lights passing it. I just think that shot, it's really short, but it looks really good for like the few couple of seconds that you see it. I tried to do something like this, but the problem is like I don't have a lot of good figures. Like from the Tokyo asset pack, there was a couple of good characters in there, but they're all like they look kind of old, like they're older. I think this is another shot that I wanted to do, and I did something. I alluded to it in one thing, but it'd be nice to kind of go back to it and truly like get that same angle. It's an exercise in setting the scope, setting like meeting your own expectations. Because if you get too excited, like this would be a cool shot. I could probably do most of this, but like if I get too excited, I'll want to do like something that I don't have the capability to do. This one would be kind of cool. Because of the way my approach has been, it hasn't been like recreate everything one to one. It's like the focus should be similar, but everything else can be kind of like fudged and made up. So something like this I could possibly do because I can get some construction workers from the big, medium, small pack. And then all of this industrial stuff and lights can be just like something that looks similar. It doesn't have to be identical. And then I have the Ava model, obviously. But, oh, it's this one right here. It's like right where it's about to get like ejected up. Yeah, like this one when it's like going up. So I'm gonna try to make that one today, and just like last time, I'm gonna try to make it in like a portrait format, so the composition will be a little bit different. So I'm just gonna stick this on my side monitor. Actually, I'll use Blender 4. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this guy, copy, paste. Yeah, you can see my VRAM jumped up like immediately. That's so crazy. All right, I meant to append him, but whatever. All right, and then I'm gonna start just turning off like a lot of the shoes and like, cause we only really need, if we look at the screen cap, we really only need from the chest up. The other downside is that I have a rigged version of this model, but it's not as high poly. So that's the one I've been using for the other shots, but I want to get back to using the high poly one because I don't know, it just looks better. All right, so all of this stuff I can hide. Definitely don't need the legs. So I'm just gonna go into edit mode and just chop the body in half pretty much. Like that. I'll just separate it. And then I'll hide it. Jeez. Separating it is like, oh, because it's remeshed. It's like separating the modifiers and like applying it to a whole new thing. All right, so now it's a little bit more lightweight. See, the VRAM has gone down. I guess there's one armature piece in here, and I think that's for the mouth. Hopefully the textures come with it. If they don't, I'll just have to replug them in. Like, look at that, it looks so good. The details and everything looks great. So what we're gonna need is for him to kind of be like this. Because his neck is still kind of like jutting out a little bit, like it's still kind of sitting forward. It's not as forward as this is, but I think that's okay for us, like for our purposes. I mean, I could probably even like adjust it a little bit. Like if I take all of this stuff, hide it. Little guy in here. Like the fact that he made all this is kind of crazy. Like even sculpted like the inside, like that's so crazy. All right, so I think I'm gonna be able to just grab this and then just like tweak it. The teeth, that's so stupid. They're in there. These teeth can be hidden. I mean, come on. It's so funny that they're in there. And then I'm going to turn this stuff back on and reposition all of it. It looks so stupid. It looks like the like meme with where everyone like puts on the ghost thing and then they show it from the side and it looks all dumb. Like the ghost mask. That's hilarious. Looks so derpy. Looks good though. Looks good now. Something is hidden, like that shouldn't be hidden, which is his like jawbone thing. I'm gonna have to turn all this stuff on to find it. Because I might have moved it to the hidden collection when I shouldn't have. Every time I show the full Ava, I can like hear my computer fans like boost for a second. I hope this doesn't crash too. Because this... No. Oh, here we go. It's here. Okay, I can turn all that stuff back off. So now I'm just gonna like bring these in, bring these arms in. Oh. Oh, it's mirrored. That's nice. Okay. They're like mirrored or something. Or no, they're just joined. Okay. All right. I think that's okay then. I just need to move them back. The other like semi downside to having my webcam work now, like getting it to work now, is that now that it's getting like really warm where I live, I don't even want to have my camera on because it's so hot. Like I'm just sweating on camera the whole time. And if you've been following me long enough, you're hearing me say the same stuff I was saying last time, like last year, this time around. All right, let's start like putting out our whole, like setting up our scene. So let's get the camera in there. I'm gonna switch it to Wow, it was set to cycles. Can you imagine? I want to try to get this like out and posted today. Like if you've been following me on Instagram, I've been posting a lot of clips from my YouTube videos, and that's actually been something that I've been working on for a while, like trying to get that set up. And I found somebody who is willing to do it, and they charge like a very fair price. So I just like paying for it, and like it's one of those things where I just wanna I can do it myself, and there's definitely a part of me that's like, what expects me to do everything myself because I'm an artist and I have to like know how to do everything. But it's one of those things that I just want to have somebody I can say, hey, go and go to my YouTube videos, just automate, like automatically do all of this stuff, like have it be automated almost. And so that's been kind of like the dream, to just let go of my own ego and let somebody else do that. And so finally, like, have somebody doing that. So that, having those clips be done and me posting them has been really good for allowing me to kind of step away and work on some stuff, work on my own thing, and not feel like the rush of constantly having to post something in order to, like stay relevant and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay. The thing is, it's like a wide angle lens, but I don't want to show like, I kind of like having it be zoomed in, so I might just have it, I'm not sure between having it zoomed in or having it zoomed out. Let me turn on the passepartout here because I'm getting too distracted by the outside view, so I can really just focus on what we got. All right, cool. What's funny is like in this shot, his head is so tiny. Because if we look at the head of Maeva versus like the giant shoulder pieces, it's like insane. And like, I don't know, maybe part of me wants to just like grab these and make them big just to see like how that would look. That looks silly because you can see right there. All right, so we'll just kind of stick with something like this. I think this works. I like the way that's like pointed right in the corner there. Sorry if I'm like moving away from the mic too much. All right, I think we're gonna go with this. Something where we can get the head in there, the shoulders, the main part. All right, so I'm gonna save this. All right, so one cool thing is that it's not a ton of, like there's not a ton going on in the scene, so we can kind of play with like the lighting and stuff. Maybe I gotta just grab him and like move him backwards again, like rotate him backwards like that. Okay, all right. Once I start like building out the lighting, I think it'll come together. I just gotta commit to like a camera angle. All right, let's commit to that. Let's go into viewport mode, start turning stuff on, turning stuff off. All right, so we got I think we're in EV. Yep, okay. So first thing, I want to add a light. Did I add a light? There we go. Okay. So that looks cool already. So there's a top light. There's like if we kind of look at this up close, there's a top light here, and then you can see that they're using the top and bottom light to distinguish the shape and like really let you know what the shape is. So it's like that ridge right along the edge there is the differentiation between the highlight and the shadow. But it's like a medium highlight and a medium shadow because this is really, really bright. So this is the ultimate highlight. Like these are the ultimate highlights. And this is like in between. And this is like the ultimate shadow. So it's kind of like highlight and shadow with a layer of highlight and shadow on top of it. Or light and shadow with a layer of highlight and deeper shadow. So I'm gonna look for some agreeable thing to put back here, and then just I think the rest of this we can kind of like block out really simply. The other thing is that with Akira, what's been really fun is that the outdoor scenes are really bright, so it's been really fun to push the colors and push the light and dark areas. But with Evangelion, it's a lot more cinematic, so it's a lot more darker, and it just, I don't know, it doesn't look as good to, for like, to be more accurate is to have the, like, have it be pretty dark, but it doesn't look as good to me. Let's see. There was something about, no, okay, never mind. All right, so that will kind of take care of that. Let me make that like 100. Ooh, that looks sick already. I think it's too strong. I think it has to be a little bit purple too. All right, and then we gotta duplicate this one, put it below. Oh, my screencast keys aren't on, okay. And I'm gonna rotate that, have that be the uplighting, because we're getting a bit of that like right at the front. This is also so cool because it's like fulfilling that fantasy of having an Evangelion like Gundam, kind of, not Gundam, but you know, like a kit, having an Evangelion kit. I've never gotten one before. I have like Gundam and stuff like that, but having a real like what's it called, gunplay, like Gunpla, having one of those would be so awesome. So I'm just trying to get the uplighting on it. All right, I think that looks decent, but I do like how there's like really deep shadow. So what I might do is I just put it like right in front like this, just kind of have it be this overall lighting. I'll just kind of stretch it out like that, and we'll bring it down to like 10. Okay, and then I'll add some like I'm gonna make it, maybe make it like bluish green kind of. Yeah, I'll do 5. Yeah, that looks cool. Okay. I mean, honestly, like the highlights, I feel like there is a general overall area light up top, but there's also these like really obvious lights kind of on the side there, on the side here. So part of me wonders like what it would look like if I just include those and don't include this top light. But I don't know, the top light's kind of working for me, so I'll just keep it for now. So this is already like more than halfway done. Okay, the other last thing is, let me bring in just some quick, no, you know what it is? I'm gonna do big, medium, small, because I have like industrial stuff. I used some of their industrial stuff for one of my past animations, and it's just like perfect, because they have these like, I don't know if you can see them, but they're just like platforms with like notches and stuff cut out of them, and you can really use it in like any orientation and it'll look right. Let's see what this thing looks like, this ground piece. Oh my god, it's gigantic. What the hell is it? Holy shit. Yeah, it's huge. But that looks like something. And I feel like we could like duplicate it and place it around multiple spots. So if we, like that. Let me open up a viewport here so we can look at it. So like put something like this kind of, you know, and just kind of like the animation is going to be having this coming down like that so that it looks like it's rising. And I think there's enough length in here that we can get that, even if we have to fake it. So that, and then if I Alt D duplicate it, I can kind of get like a side thing here. So, you know, something like this. Not really even sure what this whole thing is. Like the back of it would be really useful, but I think that we don't need that much of it. I'm gonna try to find a piece that has like a bunch of stuff. Maybe like some type of, like this steel refinery stuff looks kind of perfect. I think this might work for us because I've used this before on other assets, and like if I think if we just like array modifier it, it can get us like a good chunk. So something like this. See what the others. Ooh, that, you know what? That looks kind of, damn, that like structure kind of works way better for me. I actually like that more. It's like the structure stuff. And like this, whatever that is, like these fans. Let me hide this for a second. Maybe we can use this instead. Because like the structure thing is already like making it look nice and industrial. But these like little fan bits in the back, exhaust fan things, they're kind of working for me too. Maybe I can put these at an angle so that, nah, I think what I had before was decent. Let me just move this stuff out of the collection so I can keep track of it. All right, so that's gonna be fine. And then this, we either use like that or something. So now just like this kind of moving, like if there's a lot of stuff in the background moving, it'll kind of look like, you know, he's moving, he's going really, really fast. Fast as fuck, boy. I kind of like this. I think I'm going to use this as the back part. And then this I'm just going to rotate. Yeah, I think this is going to work better. Yeah. Okay. And we're basically gonna just kind of put it in a way that it makes sense. So this I'll just raise probably. Yeah, I'll just raise it. So it's like on the same level. And then for this, I'll do an array modifier. I don't usually like working with like such high poly things. That was why like the building pack that I made, it's like really low poly, like almost too low poly, because I just don't like being worried about my scene crashing or something like that. But these assets are just like kind of perfect, so I have to use them. All right, so that's that section. And essentially, let me just parent this to this. Again, our animation is going to be just this thing coming down. I think that'll pretty much give us the idea of what we want. Yep, okay. Might adjust the camera just a bit more. Let's pop into the camera view. Okay, it's locked. Oh, it's not locked here. That's so dumb. Okay. Oh. Actually, I think kind of more of a side angle might be what we're looking for. Kind of like this. Hope you can see that. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. If we jump into the... Nice. That's looking really good. Ooh, that looks so good. Like, I think the balance of the really bright light and the kind of cooler blue light here is really helping. Like, it's a good contrast. I think it might need to be a little bit less blue, though. And we're getting some of that shadow here that... Because I was worried we're going to have to do a little bit finessing to get this shadow. But we're kind of getting that naturally, and I think that works. I just don't think it needs to be blue. It needs to be another color. Maybe like a green. Yeah. To really accentuate like the green and purple kind of subtlety. Okay, cool. All right, I kind of like that. I'm not against that. And then I'm going to want to add, I think, some LEDs. LEDs, no, sorry. My bad. That was a joke. I'm trying to, in a sense, come out of my own shell. And I don't know. Some people know me and they know that I joke and I'm silly and goofy and all this kind of stuff. And then I think that I don't show that part of myself enough. So then when it comes out, it's like, it feels like out of pocket. Like it feels so, like, who is this man kind of thing. Is he joking? Is he being serious? But no, I like to play. I like to be really, really playful and silly more often than not. So I'm sure I'll find that balance. Like I feel like when I make my like YouTube videos and I'm just really talking about something like really straightforward and I'm being serious, you know, there's a certain amount of seriousness I want to be because I'm imagining, you know, somebody's going to show this to like their friend or their teacher or somebody and they're going to be, because whatever, like you're learning Blender, you want to share with people. So I kind of want to represent in a good way that way. But then I also want to be like silly and dumb. So I don't know. Why isn't this... Is it inside too much? Oh, okay. It's inside at this point. I think it's inside here, yeah. Wait, what's going on? Where's the damn... There we go. All right. And I'm gonna duplicate this. Why is it... Why is it acting so weird? There we go. Cool. And then I guess duplicate onto the other side, right? Yeah. You know what? Doing this I think would have been better in 4.2 alpha with like ray tracing. So instead I'm gonna just put lights. So I'm gonna put a light. Ooh, putting a light back here actually kind of works. Like this looks so much more grungy and dark compared to this. I have to try to get back to like more color. So I'm gonna try to focus on that. It like probably is gonna be a combination of brighter lights and just like more colorful saturated lights. Well, the reason I put this here was to have it like this. So that was originally the idea. Scale it in. scale it up like that, and then bring it over. So we have that. Like that looks kind of cool, but it's like very bright now, and I'm not sure if it's this. It might be the distance. It's like too much. Gotta bring some of that distance back. And like the scene is not as big as it looks. I think that's also why. Like the Ava is not as big as like it might seem. There's another part of like it being this dark industrial looking place. Like it kind of has to be, you know, it kind of has to look dark. So there's like, you know, multiple aspects to it. Like now that looks cool. Oh. Like that looks kind of cool, like that rim light. I mean, I like that a lot. So I might just leave it, even if it's not super lore accurate. I just think this will look cool, like the way it's going up. If it's going up, like the lights will also be doing this. Like having these lights on the left here, like having the physical light there, and then having these LED lights just kind of like dispersed throughout. Oh, by the way, let me join these and parent them to this. So this will just be like going like that, up and down, kind of. And then this will be going like that. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Holy, look at that VRAM. Sheesh. Maybe let me hide this. It's because it's like rendering as well. Alright, so these don't matter because they're gonna be like kind of in the kind of like they're not gonna be affecting the light too much. But I can just change their hue. Okay, so that looks good to me. This one is gonna be the background light. I don't know, man. I really want that purple in there somehow. I just feel like maybe like that. It's kind of pink. Yeah, like kind of like that. Like this really rich purple color. I think some of these other ones just need to be brought back, the distance of them. Like this light just needs to hit the shoulder for the most part. It doesn't need to be hitting all that other stuff. This one too. So what's this one? 1.8. This one could be like 2 meters. Yeah, like kind of just like that. Like that's enough, I think. So for the most part, all the lights we have are there. Okay. All right. I think I kind of dig that. Yeah, like kind of want to show that off a little bit. Want to show it's mostly like the head, the top of the head is really like the important part. Yeah. Maybe even like here. Yeah, I think that's working more for me. I like the rim light. Like the rim light's kind of crucial. Yeah. Okay. Trying to light this up a little bit too. Because I don't want this. I mean, there's probably gonna be light behind with like that wall thing, but I don't want it to be like this thing. There's actually no light on it. And also, I think I can get rid of like most of this stuff. I'm gonna just, if you watched my video about cutting up like stuff, just like getting rid of stuff when it's too much, it's taking up too much space. Like we're not really gonna see this side of the wall, like if at all. So we can kind of get rid of that. Let me just see how this looks. And there's like so much stuff right here, like Jesus. It's like a whole ass pipe in here. Oh, it's all split up. Oh well. That's one of the other thing about the big, medium, small packs is like, I want to just like cut it. Like I want to just cut a bunch of stuff, but I can't because it's all like perfectly made and perfectly like split up. All right, so okay, because I really only need this face, and then I need some of this back stuff because you can kind of see it through here, and maybe I'll have a light in here like showing it off. Okay, so that looks fine. This thing, like the whole, like this whole side of it can just go away. Except I don't know if it's gonna work. No. Okay, we'll just leave that. So now that we have these two pieces in, the only thing we have to look at is how do we get lighting on it, because it's there, it's taking up all this VRAM, but we don't see it. So we have to make sure we see it now. So I'm just gonna bring all these really bright lights in. Bring up the, there we go. Like part of me wants to have the just uplighting instead. Yeah, like this. Can never go wrong with uplighting. It just always looks good. Especially since the Ava's not moving, we can just like have it be like right here. It's like really stationary lighting. I think it's gonna be more important to have it here, yeah, like that. Okay, I think that works. For this, I think I'll just shorten it so that they're like bars or something instead of like the whole length. You know what I can get rid of? I can get rid of all these fans here. Get rid of all this crap. all this stuff. Just a little bit. Like, it's probably not making a giant difference, but it's probably helping a little bit, hopefully. And then, yeah, I think that's good. Wonder if I can like do something like that. Actually, what if I separate it just by a little bit? Nah. Because then, like, you could see the shadow. It just looked weird. All right, so I think I like this. Yeah, like that's the thing I mentioned before, is that it makes it a lot more like cinematic and kind of dark and grungy, which I'm trying to not have it be like that, but I don't know. It's like I really want the lighting is really what's important to me. So the lighting's got to look good. And if the lighting looks good, then and it looks good still, I can't really complain. All right, so with these, I'm gonna want to have some separation. Wait, what? Oh, 1.1. There we go. All right. I mean, maybe we even stick the lights behind, because, like, you know, who says we have to do them this way? Like, maybe we just stick these back here because they kind of look like they fit back here more. You know? Like, they kind of fit right here on this, like, back edge part. Like, that looks, I don't know, that kind of works for me more. Oh. Gotta parent them. Wait, what the hell? Oh, god damn it. Okay, now that, okay, cool. So the only thing, so this is like pretty much done. The very last thing is that we have this one light right here, this area light, this point light, and it's not moving. And so when this moves down, you can see the lighting on it changes because, and that kind of looks a little bit weird. So I'm gonna have to think about how to do something there. Like either change the light or something, or have the light be going with it. Yeah, so the light's gonna have to be attached to whatever it is. So maybe, like, let's say like we have it here in the front, so you can kind of see it, or we even have it like if I stick it somewhere where it can pass the Ava, like very obviously, that might be a good thing. So then if I have the light, take this, I parent it like that, and then if I move this object down, you see the light like moves past the Ava, and it kind of looks like the light is affecting it, you know? So I don't know, I feel like that might work. So let's just do this. Let's just duplicate it and put it, I'll use this as the measurement. So right at the bottom of every one of these white kind of squares, I'll just add a light and I'll move it up on the Z-axis. So Shift D Z, Shift D Z, like that. And depending on how much space we get out of this, we can just like, so then it's like that, you know? And I can always like array this and array this more. So if I array this, will it break my computer? Like that. You know, I don't know, kind of works. We can even start it a little bit higher. You know, it can be like this. Okay, I think this is a good one. Like I don't want to like overthink it and end up just doing like too much work. I kind of want to capture it. Like if we're in a good spot, we're in a good spot. The only thing is I think this might be a little bit. So I'm going to bring this down, see how it looks. It's kind of bright. So it might need to be, bring the custom distance down a bit. So it's like that. And maybe make it a different color. Ooh, a red. Come on, a red would be kind of dope. And like, I think I might go with red because it really just adds that pop of color that I've been wanting. Let me think about it. So we have a bunch more, do we? Yeah. So we have all of these. So can I grab them all like that? Does that grab all of them? That does. Okay. So I'm gonna move them like kind of here. Oh, that's so sick. We can even move them here. It just looks like a toy. It looks like a toy. I kind of like that. Because now look, if we move this, it will be very obvious that there's a light moving. And that he's moving up. So the only thing is that the rest of these lights are not red. So if I grab all of these and then shift click the last one, I can hit Control L and link object data. Yeah, and then that makes them red as well. So like that kind of hits. Oh my God, I think I'm gonna go with that. Oh my God. The only, again, I'm coming back to it, but the background, dude, like we're not seeing anything. And I mean, maybe I just get rid of it. Maybe I just get rid of that gigantic asset because you don't see any of it. But I want you to. I want you to see a little bit of it. So maybe I'll take all of these lights. Well, first of all, I'm going to duplicate them one more time to go up higher like this. And then I'm going to duplicate them again to be like in the corner somewhere. Not this one. So I'm going to take all of these lights and I guess this one. Yeah. So, and then these will just kind of be in the corner. I'll just duplicate them and move them to the corner. I don't know, maybe we just stick with red because the red kind of works as a nice like accent color. And we just maybe stick it like back here. Because I again, like I want you to be able to see what's going on like back there. So that kind of is working for me. Maybe if I like stick them higher. So then like, I don't know, maybe this works because like we're getting a bit of the red here and then we're seeing the red light over there. So then you're kind of implying like whatever, some similarity there. I think we go with that. Like I'm trying to explain my subconscious and that's what I'm thinking. So this will array a couple more times. I could probably do that thing where it like repeats, but I'm good. I'll just have the actual lights there. So this needs to come down. These two need to come down. All right. So now we're basically controlling everything with this one piece right here. So if I bring it down, you can see it's all like going. And like, I don't know. I think it works a little because you get the light in the background, you get the light in the foreground. And if we just make it not transparent, but make it just black. So let me turn off the overlays. Like this, I don't know, it kind of works. Like we can even have it start like we can even have it start with the, because this way then I don't have to animate the lights. This is the big thing, is I don't want to animate. One of the things I did in the Akira animations was that I would animate the lights, and that just created like, I don't know, it was kind of annoying to go in and keyframe them all and stuff. I'm sure I could have, you know, set up drivers and things like that, but it like ended up looking cool, but just taking so much more time. So I think I'm gonna have it start like this. Like have it start like this. Like this, yeah. Because it feels a little bit abstract. Like, what's going on? And then you start to get all the pieces. Okay. I think now all of these right here are connected to this bottom one. So I think if I adjust this bottom one, it will adjust all of them. Yeah, so because I did the collect, I did the one of like adjust of the like link data. So if we make that brighter, that kind of helps. Okay. No, I mean the red is good. The red is good because, yeah, I think the red works because like red and green, it's like there's kind of some complementary colors here, like orange and blue and stuff. So red and green. And if we have mostly red and green, like we're thinking like color composition and stuff. If it's mostly red and green, and then there's like a spot of this purple on the Ava, it, you know, it's a unique color that's dedicated to the Ava, so it feels kind of important. Like you kind of notice it. It attracts you to it because you're like, oh, that's a color that I'm not seeing anywhere else, and you're kind of bringing importance to it. So let's see if we can just kind of fudge the color a little bit. Get a little bit more intensity out of it. Make it pop a little bit more. There's not as much blue, so we can kind of lean more into the blue for the purple. Maybe increase the... But also the pinkish, the more magenta it is, the more it pops out. I think I'm gonna go with like, I don't want to go too neon. I'm like moving the cursor around and then just staring at the left side there of my screen. Looks weird. I think I might turn off contact shadows for that. And contact, no, leave that on. Sometimes contact shadows can help, but sometimes they can just add too much. All right, okay. Nah, I think that looks good. Yeah, I think we're in a good spot. Let's see what we can do with these. They're a little bit strong, but I think they're necessary. Yeah, okay. So let's just stick this into the timeline and see how it runs. I think I'm gonna do 24 frames a second, and then what's this? 24 times 10 is 240, right? So now 10 seconds is too long. 24 times maybe like 6 seconds, 144. Okay, so let's grab this, we'll bring it up. We'll start it like here. Yeah, because I like the LED lights. It like leads you into it. And because this one, everything is parented to this one object, all I'm doing is animating the keyframe position of this thing. And then as it plays, I can go back and make adjustments to things like the LED lights, for example, and they will always kind of be in that same place. So that's what is helping me right now. So location, I'm gonna go all the way to the end, drag it all the way down. If we do here, we could probably make it loop really nicely. But it's not gonna be a loop. So that's gonna be vector. If we start it like here. Oop. Make this vector. And what I might do is I might just move this up like that. Okay, yeah, it kind of loops in a nice way. Let me just watch that again. Let me think about it. I think the ending it's too... You know what? I think I just get rid of the last light up here and get rid of this last one. Wait, what is... Oh, that's weird. Oh, wait, no, whoops. Not that. This red light. I get rid of this one here. And back here. So then I think that will loop a little bit better. It'd just be cool to have a looped version. Like it wasn't a goal, but it'd be cool to have one. Then it would probably end there. So 140, we'll do 140. Let's see how that loops. Yeah, these little things, like, they come in fast. Okay, so what I'm noticing is that there's no red light here for like a minute. So if I just duplicate one here, it'll like hit sooner and then the rest of them will hit. Okay, so let's see that. Yeah, that feels like that kind of fixed it. Like it's still a loop and it's going to be obvious, but at least like kind of fixes it. Let me make sure this is vector. I'm trying not to look at the right side and just like focus on the left. Yep, okay, that's a pretty good loop to me. The only last thing I'm thinking of is like I can have the camera shaking a little bit. That's not something I've really been messing around with too much. And also if I have it shake, that'll mean that it won't loop perfectly. So I'm not sure if I will, you know. I mean, I could have it like zoom out and then zoom back in. Then like it can have it start here. And then kind of like come in, come back out. Like I can have it start here, and then like get like closer like that. Or I can have it, I don't know. All right, let's leave it. This is me like when I'm done, but I don't trust myself. Like as soon as I put that red light there, I knew it was game over. Like I knew it was good to go. But now I'm like, oh, what about this? What about that? Like, it's not perfect. It can be more perfect. But that's just like wasting my time and your time. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy there. Like we get a decent amount of background. We get an idea of some like structural crap there. Um, Only thing is I'm probably not gonna do motion blur, even though I feel like they would. But yeah, I'm not gonna do motion blur. I'm gonna take all these lights that I have and just like parent them to something so that it saves. Just like parent them to this body. And so if I, in case I want to make adjustments, I want to grab all of this stuff and parent it. In case I want to like just nudge the Ava. I'll just parent everything to that. Okay. So now if I grab this, oh, god damn it, the jaw. You stink. It's the bone, that's why. God damn it. This damn jawbone. Okay. So I don't grab the little jaw because that's parented to that actual jawbone. I just deselect it. And then I select this. Okay, so like that. Okay, I think that solved it. And then I can like rotate this and it's got the lights on it. Yeah. Oh crap. I think I parented the wrong light to it. Wait, what is this? Okay, everything's parented. So I just did that because like it kind of looks like it should turn this way a little bit more. So I may or may not change it like right before I hit render. So let me get it like this kind of looks like, or does this look better, you know? Like this feels more accurate to the shot. Like here's the shot just for memory. We'll get that shoulder piece like right in the foreground. So that kind of makes it feel more accurate. But again, it's not about accuracy, it's more about just like capturing the vibe. It's so weird, like from the top it doesn't look like it's moving at all, but like from the side it clearly is. Should I? I feel like I need to do this so that there's more of them. Then it just kind of abruptly ends. I don't like that. Imagine having like one less. All right, we're pretty much done here. I'm just double checking my work before I submit it. I think that looks good. I'm pretty happy with that. And I like that it's like mostly stationary, kind of like how a lot of my animations in this series have been. I like this right here. Like if you look right here, the little gradient. Oop. Let me zoom in on it. Like right here, it's like you get a little bit of that rim light, and then as soon as that comes in, it's like this. I just love that. That's so cool. Might even increase the brightness on these, to be honest. Because I don't know, like they're so cool, and I feel like increasing the brightness on it will help. Like really make it pop. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like that. I'm not crazy about the LED lights. Like they're just, I don't know. They're kind of bothering me. Maybe we just move them. Maybe they need to find a new home. Oh, that's not what I want to move. Maybe like stick them in the corner or something. Like I'm tempted to just delete them because they're not like adding anything, but they feel like they add like something. I don't know what it is, but they add something. Maybe here. Like that feels a little bit better because like the second one is like broken up more. I like that it goes away and then comes back. Like I like that it's in the beginning, and then it goes away. Like it feels like makes it more interesting, gives it more variety. Let's see. What does it look like if we turn it off? Like it feels a little bit more organic with it turned off. Like it doesn't feel as artificial. Like this makes it look artificial. I don't know. I might just keep it just for the hell of it. Like it doesn't totally ruin it for me. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it. All right. I think that's good. I think this is done. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. If you watched it all the way to the end, if you watched it to the end, leave a comment saying you did, because that would be awesome, and that would let me know if you did watch the whole thing. Besides that, help me Patreon. That guy is coming after me pretty hard. I owe a lot of money. Support me on socials, all that kind of stuff. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. Those are the three main things: Instagram, Patreon, and YouTube. If you have suggestions, stuff you want to see, breakdowns, anything like that, just let me know. Oh, also join the Discord if you want to. You don't have to if you want to. It's pretty chill in there. So if you want to. Okay, real quick, I did make one change before rendering it, and that is this light that was here, that was casting the little, the glow right here on the shoulder. And I noticed when I zoomed the camera out a little bit, so I wanted to zoom it out a little bit just to get a little bit of a wider angle. And I like that, but then I noticed that there's this rim light, this light kind of peeking through between the shoulder blade and the arm. And then I figured, okay, that looks cool, and I was moving it around. And then like I was just moving it up and down. I'm like, okay, so that looks like really cool. Like especially here where you get just the silhouette. And I really like how that is playing with everything else. What I ended up doing is just unparenting it from the Ava and duplicating it up and putting it in between every red light. So then now it's like kind of here. So these are red lights and then these are the blue lights. And then just kind of duplicating them. And now I'm going to control or shift click and parent it to this. So now when it plays, it'll look, I mean, that looks so So good. Just the green and the purple and the green, first of all, iconic. So yeah, that looks really, really good. I might need to nudge this up a bit actually because I don't like it peeking through. That's just such a hard like start off for like the first frame, and then we get the rest. So then every once in a while you kind of, so then it feels like there's more lighting and like it's doing more. So, and I did add a bit of camera shake. I was worried it was gonna mess up like the looping, but I used the Ian Hubert Shakeify add-on, and I think I just made my settings low enough so that it's not super noticeable. So, but yeah, that was just like a last minute little change I wanted to include. Hey, that actually took a lot longer than I thought to render. I don't know why that took so long, but I figured I'd just kind of show you this very last bit, a little bit of what I do before I send it off to Instagram and the internet and everything like that. So I brought in my clips here. This is how everything looks when it's all rendered out. Let me make sure this is just a little over 4 seconds. This is Davinci Resolve, by the way. It's like 250 or $300 for like the full thing, no subscription, no bull crap. I love it, and just updates constantly. So a ton of stuff. Really can do a lot. There's a couple people on the Discord server that use it, but even I haven't scratched the service. I just love it because it's no subscription crap and it's good. So highly recommend it if you're doing any kind of video editing. So here's my clip, and I like, this is the viewport area, so you can just middle mouse wheel and move around like in Blender, zoom in and out. Pretty simple stuff. I like it. Just the UI is like pretty intuitive. Okay, sorry, let me get back to this. All right. So this is how the final turned out. Yeah. It just like builds and then immediately like, I really love the way the shadows kind of like scatter along the surfaces. Like, I just love that. It's like a damn rave. And this is cool. You see it's like pitch black, but because of the bloom and Eevee, it kind of spreads out the bloom in these really dark areas, which I like. I don't know. It kind of gives it more of like an anime aesthetic. I don't know how, but it does, specifically here. There's a blue light, then there's a red light, and then there's like no light, and it just looks really cool. So I really like how this looks in general, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add an adjustment clip. So I'm just gonna go here and find where it is. I'm gonna drop an adjustment clip on top, and then on the adjustment clip, I'll make all the changes. So then it's just like, I'm not making changes to the actual thing. So right off the bat, I just wanna give it a bit more glow and maybe boost the saturation a little bit. So I think the saturation looks good, but it just feels still a little bit too muted, especially when you kind of zoom out. Because like if you're on your phone, it's probably going to be like this big or smaller. And I don't know, I feel like it needs to pop a little bit more. So with the adjustment clip selected, I'm going to go here, which is all like the color stuff. And then over here on the left, I know the UI is probably really tiny. I don't actually know how to scale it in DaVinci, at least not yet. But here there's like midtone, highlights, offset, and then at the very bottom there's like saturation, highlights. Saturation set to 50. I'm just gonna like go to 60, and you can tell that it's like already a little different. If we go back here and I zoom in like this area and turn it on and off, you can see it's like pretty subtle, but like the red most notably just kind of pops a little bit here on the chest. That's off, that's on. So it's just a small pop of color, but overall, I don't want to do too much because I think it would just be overwhelming, but enough. The other thing is I want to add a glare. So I think I could just type in like glow or something. Oh, here it is, glow. I'm gonna drop that on. And normally it's right here, so it's like a really subtle bloom. So here I can turn it on and off and see how it looks. It's normally like a pretty subtle bloom, and I might be okay with that. Like here you can see it the most, like especially right there. And I can mess more with it. So sometimes like even if you forget the bloom in from Blender, you can still add it back in. So you can mess with the spread here. It's just like the glare node, you can like really tighten it. So it's like just on the highlights, which looks cool. Or you can like spread it out more. I don't know, I kind of do like the really tight highlight. It feels like part of the aesthetic more. Especially these lights right here. These lights in the background, these are very like, this is like classic anime lighting. Anime bloom light. And then I think for the most part, pretty good. I'm just gonna do like a, I might just do like a noise or something, or a grain. Yeah. I love this. This looks so hard. Like this is so cool right here. These colors are so iconic. It just looks so good. So now I'm gonna, I think it's grain. Yeah, film grain. Drop that right on top. And if I select it and just kind of zoom in on any area, I mostly want it to be in the dark areas. So I'm just gonna bring up the opacity just so I can kind of see it. Maybe I'll put it, yeah, 35 millimeter, something like that. And now it looks kind of noisy, but I want to like mess with some of these settings. So I'm still learning it. I think it's softness, bring that down a bit. Okay. Grain strength. And then there's something about like, ooh, that's kind of cool. Saturation. I like that. Makes it look a little more like vintage. I think it might be texture. Yeah. So if you bring all the way down, it's a little bit more fine. But if I bring it up more, it looks all like patterns and stuff. Probably not supposed to do that, but that looks interesting to me. So somewhere here you can find the balance of like the grain. So like I like how small that is. And now I'm gonna just like bring down the opacity of it a little bit, just a little bit, so they can keep some of that grain. Grain, I think, and noise a lot of times, it will like soften off a lot of these like gradient color transitions, like here especially. This kind of softens it, I think. So like it kind of just blends it a little bit better. Just in my opinion. I do this in my digital paintings too. I'm like way zoomed in. Like you're never gonna be able to zoom in this much on the picture, like on your phone. So that's why I'm just like zooming way in and checking how it looks. So if I turn this off, you can see the differences. This right here looks so cool. I just love the colors here. It's like the halation from the light, the orange, the green, the purple, man. Like this shot is just wild. It's so good. And the shadows and everything, the way it falls in place, all these little details, like almost just zooming in on some of these spots, it looks really realistic. Just hyper zooming in on some of these like really tight shots. The next hard part is going to be finding the right tune to put it up to. Maybe I'll do a video just kind of going over about how I compose my reels and everything, if that's something that would be interesting to you. But I like this. I feel like every one of these light versions has its own look. I might export a couple wallpapers too. This is so cool. I'm really happy with this. It's like a different look from the reference that we had, but it's the same feeling, like this feeling of in this industrial place, coming up, getting ready to fight. So I'm gonna export this, and yeah, and then pretty much just posting it in the usual template way. Again, final goodbye. This is like my third goodbye, but thanks for watching, sticking around. Again, if you want to see how I put the reel together, like the process after this, anything like that, just let me know. All right. Okay, so here's how the final one looks. Really awesome. I'm really happy with it. I love the lighting especially. But after I rendered it out, I did all that stuff with Resolve, everything like that. Watching it back, something about it just doesn't feel as fast. Like all of this stuff is moving, but it doesn't feel like it's moving that fast. It's moving fast, but it doesn't really feel like he's being launched up. So I went back in and I rendered out this version. The scene is essentially the same. I just have a new camera angle. I also added lights to the eyes because that's something that I totally forgot in that in the original render. And with this one, I also rendered it with motion blur. So you can see it feels a lot faster. Even like some of the camera shake gives it like a subtle blur like here. And I think that it sells the speed a lot more. Even though I understand it's not accurate, all that kind of stuff, it's not the same as it was in the original anime. But like I've been saying this whole time, it's not about copying it one for one. It's more about capturing that feeling, that emotion that you felt when you first watched the anime for the first time. I'm doing that for myself. And I added some more red light. So the red light isn't as present the whole time. It's only present in the last half. And just look at that. It still looks so good. This composition, this model, everything is still so well put together. And then this was the next one. So after I did the second alternate angle, I went back and realized like, okay, well, I need to render the up shot angle with the glowing lights and with motion blur. So then they feel like they're connected. So what I did was, remember that platform that was on the left there? Actually, let me just go to the blend file. So I also turned on this bottom half because you kind of see that more in the wide shot. Now the lights are here and all of the junk and structure is up here. And if we kind of bring it down a little bit, you can see that I put a red light here to shine on the bottom of the platform. So then it looks like the Ava is being moved up and there's like multiple stages or something, and it's like it begins in this in-between stage and then it gets inserted into this like new kind of shaft area. So that's just kind of how it looks. I think it looks really cool and really dramatic and almost mysterious to start in just this black void and then like have it shoot up into the shaft. I think that looks really cool. So a couple things that I changed, I ended up turning this thing around because I just liked how it had added this like structure greebles in the background. The LED lights are still there. I also took the side blue lights that I had on the shoulders here. I rotated them all 90 degrees so that instead of being this way, they're just turned 90 degrees, so they're flat. And the flatness of the lights makes them flash by faster, if that makes sense. The red lights are now back here and they kind of cast this, they make sense because I added these little tiny icospheres with red emissive material on them. Yeah, they're right here. And because these were back here, I knew I needed to move the red lights back there so that it made sense, because it wasn't making sense that you see red lights here, but the red light is actually hitting the front of his chest. And also when I added the LED tubes back here, I duplicated the area lights and then just put them really close to the wall so that it looks like this weird uplighting stuff. The other thing was that I increased the amount of these hardware assets. So whereas before I think it was just 2, now it's like 5 or something. And then I also duplicated the hell out of them. I mean, this is like double the amount of everything that I had. And then I doubled up the lights, doubled up everything. And so because it's motion blur now and it's moving faster, whereas it used to be like half as much. So now it's starting higher. It's still the same frame amount. So it's starting higher and there's more structure that's moving past the Ava and past the camera. So it really feels like this Ava's being like shot up into the street of the city. This helps sell the scale of everything, the speed, the intensity, the drama, everything. So yeah, I always do this thing. I record for hours and hours and then I end up I stop the recording. I think I'm done. I swear I'm done. And I go back for more and I keep making tweaks. So at least I've been able to catch you up on the current version and the current state. Yeah, I won't even bother saying goodbye. You've probably already heard it. See ya.